Hello and a warm welcome to Joy News today. My name is Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. We're live from our studio here in Kokomlimle, also live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and at myjoyonline.com. Catch us live on your digital television sets because we are free to air. Ahead in the bulletin this afternoon, group criticizes Parliament and Office of the Special Prosecutor over GRA Boss's continued stay in office despite attaining retirement age. We're live in Parliament as they storm the House after petition of the two institutions over their misgivings. I have fear for my life and my unborn baby. That's the worry of a pregnant woman who fell off from a motorbike due to the poor nature of the road she was traveling on to the hospital for antenatal care. We have details of that and assurance from the DC of the area to fix the road in a month. Africa Union's High Representative for Silence in the Gun, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, questions attempts by the ECOWAS to use military intervention to restore peace in conflict states. We have details from a recent conference on peace in Africa region held here in Accra. And who partners the NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the 2024 general election as the second highest decision-making body of the party holds a crucial meeting this afternoon.
Generally agreed that if Bawumia wins, his running mate should come from the region.
Does Bawumia agree with this general view?
I think so.
I am Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. A group calling itself Concerned Citizens are berating Parliament and the Office of the Special Prosecutor for failing to intervene to get the GRA Commissioner General Reverend Dr. Amishada Owusu to retire. Dr. Amishada Owusu attained the compulsory retirement age of 60 in 2021, but is still illegally staying in office according to the group. Spokesperson for the group, Charles Tufo, who earlier presented a petition to Parliament, argues a post-retirement contract offered the boss has also expired.
Our sources indicate that the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and the board chairman of the GRA are allegedly contemplating a 2 to 3 year contract extension for Reverend Dr. Amishada. We question the rationale behind such a decision, considering there are numerous qualified Ghanaians capable of assuming this role. This move not only raises concerns about fiscal responsibility, but also exacerbates the issues of employment in the country. The persistent silence on the matters fuels our suspicion that something untoward may be occurring between the government and the GRA boss, potentially to the detriment of the entire nation. We call for transparency and accountability in addressing these concerns to safeguard the integrity of our institutions and maintain public trust. Additionally, our background checks reveal that both Reverend Amishada and Ms. Juliana Siem have chosen to stay in office beyond the age of 60, despite their contracts being renewed until 2021. This brings into questions the adherence to established retirement policies within the GRA.
Charles Tufo says there's a scheme to extend the stay in office of Reverend Dr. Amishada Owusu, which they say completely makes mockery of Ghana's laws.
It's regrettable to note that following the selective justice of the special prosecutor, who in all his conscious effort ensured the removal of Kendall Damwa retired, from office as a GRA boss, making Reverend Dr. Amisada a beneficiary as he succeed Kenneth Damwa, has deliberately refused to apply same principle to ensure that the Commissioner General hangs his pen due to his due pension. We concerned citizens of Ghana, who are much concerned about the high level of unemployment rate in the country, took it upon ourselves to petition the OSP, Office of the Special Prosecutor, and even sent a reminder later to his office month after our initial petition was submitted. But in all our plight to ensure that the Constitution is rightfully upheld, the OSP, Speaker of Parliament, the minority and majority leadership, and GRA Board have all turned deaf ears to our plea, confirming our suspicion that they have deliberately decided to turn a deaf ear to our petition and connive with the Commissioner General and some top-level officials at the GRA who are due for pension or retirement, but are all still at post for their personal gains. Reverend Dr. Amisada's term has purportedly extended beyond the illegal stipulated period, raising significant questions about the adherence to established policies, particularly the government's stance on ending contracts.
And the deplorable nature of the Tuasa-Bolenge Road in the Iwais district of the Upper West region is impeding, among other things, healthcare delivery in the area. The common means of transportation are tricycles and motorbikes, but sometimes passengers fall off the bikes, increasing their woes. Joy News Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam took a trip to the area, chancing on a pregnant woman who fell off the motorbike and has filed this report.
Despite the claim of the Iwais district being one of the breadbaskets of the Upper West region, having access to its communities and the farms is a Herculean task. The Tuasa community is some 4 kilometers away from Bulenge, which lies on the main road from Wa heading to the Kulun Bridge. The road is muddy, bumpy, and replete with corrugations, making it difficult for road users to apply it.
You can see how the place is. You can see they have to put some of the tricycle to move around the area. But it's muddy, and vehicles and also tricycles are getting stuck in the area.
When it rains here, this particular area, it's difficult to ride through, and especially when you're carrying people. Sometimes you just have to reduce your gear and use your 2 legs to support yourself in the mud until you get to very good grounds. Apart from that, if you try to do any other means, you will fall down.
Times that you fell on the way?
Several times, like almost every day. The last time I had to remove my mud guard because the mud got stuck. My tires couldn't roll, so I had to just spoil it and then before I was able to move.
This heavily pregnant woman who fell off a few minutes ago from the motorbike riding with her husband to Bulenge for antenatal service. The road is no good. We tried to negotiate a curve and we fell off. I've even sustained some bruises in my knees. Salah attempted to show me. She has fears for her life and the unborn baby. Her husband is equally worried about the poor nature of the road. There's no road. We have only water that has spread across, making it muddy. We don't have falling off. Member of Parliament for Iwais constituency, Dr. Godfrey Sedi Jasao, bemoaned the posted of the Tuasa-Bolenge Road and other roads in the constituency, calling on the government to take a special interest in roads in the area to ameliorate the sufferings of the people.
So this is a daily occurrence, Joy News. This is a daily occurrence. One of the challenges, the problems that this situation throws out is that it's putting a lot of human life at risk. Sick women, sick children, sick men are not able to access the healthcare facility and healthcare service because of the nature of these roads. And so that's a clear demonstration of what we are going through.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Tosa.
Well, DC for East Uhura Suleimana Mahama tells Joy News contractors are mobilizing to get to the site. Assuring work on the stretch will be completed in a month's time.
Yes, I think, like I said, mobilizing. So we're waiting for the rains to subside before to go to site, according to the Midday engineer. They said it was actually awarded during the wet season, but it wasn't all that comfortable operation for them to go and then start work. But now that the rains are down, because road work it has to do with heavy machines, and they have to allow the waters to sink deep before they can go there. But roughly, I think if I can say, I will tell you that within a month there can be a contractor at site. There are other alternatives. The moment we have at the moment we have cycles, ambulances stationed at vintage points to enable these pregnant women to be sent to the health centers for health delivery.
Let's move to Manson Kwanta in the Ashanti region, where residents are appealing to government to ensure the rehabilitation of their roads following several demonstrations to press home their concerns. There's more on this report.
The dusty and poor nature of roads in Manson Kwanta and its environs have become a burden for residents over the years. Concerned residents have bemoaned the poor nature of their roads, but their call has yielded no results. Several attempts to construct the road have failed, although the former MP for Manson Kwanta, Professor Albert Kwam, took it upon himself to rehabilitate them.
You will recall that some time ago I was a member of Parliament here, and I lobbied for almost 10 of the routes, total about 110 kilometers, to be given to contract. As at the time that I was leaving office as a member of Parliament, 10 routes have been awarded to contracts. But the reality is that even when I left, they were on the road working. But at some point, they all deserted. They have abandoned the routes. People have been complaining here and there. I don't want such thing to happen.
Aggrieved residents want the government to rehabilitate their roads as a matter of urgency.
How no said obi kura ya le kura na ambulance ambulance or fast kura kwatwa krum get take care with baby ana want to hinsuo na wo no ontutumi yiri na tima den abloko kwan kan ko kama.
We are unable to aid sick persons because of the bad road. It takes hours to move on this road. Women and men all have to cover themselves when using the road. Government should help fix our road. We need the road. The bad road is affecting our work here. The nasty road is all over us when we are making sales, so we plead with government to come to our aid. Government should kindly fix our road. It's difficult using the stretch when it rains. The dust is killing us.
For Joy News, Nana Boachidankwayadom, Kumasi.
Well, data from the National Road Safety Authority indicates that 275 road crashes were recorded between December 24 and December 26 during Christmas last year. Out of the total number of crashes recorded during the period, 53 deaths were recorded, while 363 persons sustained injuries. The National Road Safety Authority and the Ghana Police Service identify overspeeding, reckless driving, drunk driving, and absent-mindedness as some of the major causes of crashes during the Yuletide. Rejoice Semefakpesu has more on this report.
Accra has been identified as a hotspot where most cases of road crashes are recorded during the Christmas holidays. This is because of the many entertainment event lineup from 1st December through to January 2nd. Most of the attendees to these events are youth entertainment enthusiasts who love to take a risk to enjoy themselves. The National Road Safety Authority reports that most of them who are engaged in the crashes are either tired, drunk, or are engrossed in happy moments of music and dancing behind the steering wheel. The National Road Safety Authority has thus launched this annual Christmas Drive Safe campaign dubbed Stop Speeding, Stay Alive to sensitize road users on the need to protect their lives and that of other motorists. Engineer David Osafo Adontin is the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority.
No one has the right to exhibit lawlessness, misconduct himself or herself on the road in a manner that will undermine the rights of others to use the road space. Excessive speeding is the root cause of all fatal crashes globally and in Ghana. Now, ensuring reduction in travel speeds in compliance with maximum speed limit laws and regulations, that is 90 kilometers per hour on the highways, 50 kilometers per hour in towns and settlements, 30 kilometers per hour in schools and crowded areas. It is only on the motorway that the expectation is that we move not more than 100.
Engineer David Osafo Adontin also reviewed plans and preparations by his outfit to ensure crash-free Christmas. He called out road users to be vigilant when plying the road space this Christmas.
The authority has stepped up education at lorry terminals and seriously engaging the leadership of road transport operators and drivers. We are also seriously engaging the clergy and their respective congregations in churches. We are the mosques. We have the targeted groups and preparing to set up teams with the police to populate the road space with coordinated enforcement. Removal of unprescribed lamps and use of logbooks shall be in full force during this period. MTTD of the Ghana Police Service will put their automated enforcement operations known as Traffic Tech, also popularly known as PIAO, to test this Christmas season to electronically detect and apprehend those who will flout speed and red light regulations. I want to say that this Christmas, as a road user, do not be distracted by the joy, the excitement, the merrymaking, among others, which always associate with Christmas. Let us remain focused. Let us be alert, even as we walk along across the road. Let us avoid excessive speeding when we find ourselves driving or riding, in order that we can stay alive during the Christmas period and even beyond. We always say that road safety is a shared and collective responsibility.
Meanwhile, some entertainment enthusiasts are about the Christmas season and the main event lined up in the capital.
I used to go to Alcoholic. Yeah, I'll be going to Alcoholic this December. Yeah. Because I'm a SAC fan. Maybe I'll think about going to Wonderland or Beam concert. Yeah.
Go to Labadi Beach, view the sea. Yeah, so...
For the Ghana Police Service and the National Road Safety Authority, the Stop Speeding, Stay Alive campaign is a shared responsibility. Rejoice Semefakpesu's report read to you.
Let's do education now. Some parents seeking change of schools at the Ashanti Regional Solution Center for their children are agitated over delays in being served. Authorities say they are prioritizing placement of students who are yet to find schools. Emmanuel Bright Kweku has more on this report.
So we are presently here at the
Regional Solutions Center at the Kumasi Technical Institute, where some guardians, students, and even parents have queued up here seeking some solutions to matters regarding school placement. It's been almost a week since the government or the Ministry of Education released school placement for some over 500,000 students who sat for the BEC.
Please, when I checked, they said I should do self-placement. So when I checked for boarding, there is no school for boarding. There is no school for it. So I've now checked again, and they've given me this placement. So I'm now coming to check for the perspectives first.
Oh, okay. So if I get you correctly, these are some schools. Were these the schools you selected when you were writing BEC?
Yes, please.
And then now you have spaces in these schools to attend?
Yes, please.
When you come here to the Regional Solutions Center, there are actually some 4 rows that you're supposed to join. In the middle row just there are some of the students who were not placed actually. And on my left are those who have gotten schools, but they are seeking to change the schools for some various reasons. Where school being?
Minya Edibiasi senior.
Edibiasi. Now what's him for? And Ben Wana.
Oh, that Mima Greater Accra.
What Greater Accra? I know do to Edibiasi. Boarding an day. It's Ufi Accra ne Bahana say.
Me Bama, me wanna, my bed.
Oh, okay. Obaha, how many hours?
Me about 4 hours.
4 hours. Na show na.
Actually.
Na fe yen hwe Edubiase honom no denti na hompe school choose na say enye school.
Enye school me choose. Enye school me choose.
Thank you very much. So that's a student who is seeking, but as you can see behind me, there are some a bit of agitations among some who have come here. From what I'm hearing, I understand that the line is not moving as they wish it would move, so that all of them will be served appropriately. Sir, let me find out from you. I can see you agitated. What's the situation?
The situation is not. The situation is not good. The process is not normal. It's not smooth. Like we came here yesterday, we couldn't able to serve, and we are here today too. My problem is about I'm from Mansu Kumpesi, and my child had admission at this thing, Abofo. Then they have placed her in the day student. How can a student from Kumpesi will go to Abofo with the day student?
Now, the National Executive Committee and National Council of the NPP are in a crucial meeting to discuss, among other issues, who will partner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for the 2024 general election. As anticipation builds up, political observers are keenly awaiting the outcome of this meeting. We'll be hearing from First Deputy Speaker Joseph Osewusu on who or where this running mate should be coming from. But we're joined on the line by the party's Deputy General Secretary, Haruna Mohammed, and he'll be telling us more about this meeting. Mr. Mohammed, we are grateful for your time on Joy News today. What are the considerations in this meeting?
Please come again. I didn't hear your question.
I'm asking what your considerations are in the meeting.
Basically, the meeting we have today is a National Executive Committee meeting and National Council of our party, which is the second highest decision-making body of our party. The agenda for the meeting is not known. It will be known at the meeting. And we all know that we have done parliamentary for orphan constituencies, and we have also designated some timelines for parliamentary for the sitting members of parliament. These are matters that are before the National Executive Committee, that is next. Other matters that are before the National Council will also be tabled before the National Council. So we'll be looking at this in the performances and what has come out of it and issues that are there that we have to resolve. On to what we have to discuss, I think that these are the very matters that we'll be looking at our meeting.
Well, there's anticipation of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia getting a running mate for the 2024 general election. What do you anticipate, or when do you anticipate this will be done?
For this anticipation has been there since 4th of November when he was elected the flag bearer of the party. Day in, day out, people have been anticipating that when he will name his running mate. But constitutionally, if you go to the MPP constitution article 13.3.1, it is the party's presidential candidate who, in consultation with the National Council, will nominate somebody as his running mate or a vice president to him going forward to the 2024 general election. And if you look at the 13.3.2, it says that the vice presidential candidate shall be a known and active member of at least 5 years and shall be nominated by the presidential candidate at least 12 months before the general election when the party is not in government. In this case, we are in government. And whilst we are in government, the constitution is silent on the number of months or the number of the period on which the presidential candidate would have to nominate. So in the wisdom of the National Council and in the thinking of the presidential candidate, at the appropriate time, he will do so, and the National Council will have a consideration on that.
Well, and this meeting in no way will be announcing this?
I don't think this is on the agenda as we speak, because the agenda is not known to anybody. And because it's the second highest meeting body of the party, when we get in there, whatever matter that is there, the council will discuss and then we'll relate back to the media.
Grateful for your time here, Harry Namwa, Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. We can now listen to Joseph Osei, who is the Deputy Speaker in Parliament, earlier hinting that the running mate will be from the Ashanti region.
I've said so because then we can be assured that the massive votes the region comes, we can consolidate that.
You think the person will be critical in bringing you the votes or helping Bawumia get the vote to Ashanti?
Yes, it will be critical.
The mere fact that you have somebody they identify, running your stronghold identifier that's coming from within.
The region. And a lot of the people that are eligible from the region, people who generally have following in the region, they give people hope in the region. So I suspect that if you put our resources there, we can generate Ghana. And Ashanti region vote is huge generally, and is often, if you garner them, a lot of them.
We've had this principle that you've articulated play out in other places, and our electoral political history shows that it doesn't always translate into votes. We've had this concept around central region, of course, because it is a swing region. Get your running mate from there. The NDC have experimented with that, and they haven't necessarily yielded the results that they have expected. So that's the counter argument to what you propose.
Well,
that it is not automatic.
I'm not saying it's automatic. I'm saying that if you get somebody from the region, motivate. You see, my party always wins the region. But when we're able to win 70% or more often.
In fact, 75% plus upwards, that's when you sweep to Jubilee House.
Right. So if you get somebody who is liked, respected, and people have faith in, it is easy for that person to mobilize the votes to support the candidate himself. And that's why I'll suggest that you should look at that region and pick from within that region. And I generally agreed in the party, generally agreed that if Bawumia wins, his running mate should come from the region.
Does Bawumia agree with this general view?
I think so.
Now to the camp of the NDC. MP for Okankwe North, Teresa Ladi Awuni, says she's unfazed by the threat posed by newly elected MPP parliamentary candidate for the constituency, Nana Madokia. Nana Madokia, who is currently MP for Kwapim North, will contest the Okankwe North seat for the NPP in 2024. But speaking to Joy News in Parliament, the NP Teresa Ladi Awuni vowed to defeat her. She says is running away from her own safe seat.
Okankwe North is very safe, and I'm poised to retaining my seat. Are you not interested in asking why two-time sitting member of parliament is running away from a seat in the Kwapim? The person is a sitting member of parliament. Have you asked yourself why she's running away from a constituency? We are not joking, Okankwe North. maybe MPP delegates in Okankwe North can be bought, but my constituents cannot be bought. I am poised to retaining the seat for the second time.
The United or Union High Representative for Silencing the Gun, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, is questioning attempts by the ECOWAS to use military force to restore peace in conflict states. Dr. Chambers says such moves will only escalate tensions. He's urging regional leaders to focus the fight on terrorists and extremists instead. Dr. Ibn Chambers spoke at the RECAP Regional Conference. My colleague, Kwesi Adai-Kwating, has more in this report.
The United Nations reports that violent extremism and political instability cost African countries $97 billion each year, in addition to the loss of precious lives. In recent times, West Africa has become the epicenter of such conflict. To address the menace, the West African Network for Peace Building, in collaboration with other partners, are undertaking a project dubbed Research and Action for Peace Network, which aims to develop a framework to guide the management and prevention of such conflicts. The two-day conference has brought together security experts, diplomats, development partners, researchers, and civil society organizations to find feasible and sustainable ways to address the security situation in the sub-region. Addressing the gathering, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers criticized attempts by ECOWAS to restore stability in conflict states through military intervention.
The threat of military intervention should be taken off the table, as that will only escalate the dire security situation in the entire region. Any use of force should be directed against the principal enemy, and we are not in doubt as to who the principal enemy is. That is the terrorists and the violent extremists. So let us be very careful in where we divide our energy, our military strength.
According to the former ECOWAS secretary, many of these insurgencies are fueled by agitated youth, hence calling on the African government to give a listening ear to the concerns of the youth.
Older generations may have been willing to accommodate many situations. Younger generations are not. We have these days information technology and platforms, so many platforms, which have changed the dynamics.
Deputy.
This is Joy News Today. We'll be right back with business.
Hello and welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Emma Davis. The Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana and the Technical University Workers Association Ghana have merged as a single union to pursue the common interest of workers in public universities. The merger will position the unions to collectively negotiate better conditions of service for members while upholding best practices and support for effective grievance handling. The merger was announced at a press meeting in Kumasi.
TEWU Ghana and TUWAG have been the mouthpiece of workers in public universities and technical universities. On November 10, 2023, the two unions merged to strengthen their bargaining power. National President Suleiman Abdul Rahman highlighted the importance of the merger.
The two labor unions have common issues and related matters, which both parties have considered that when merged, it will help the two great unions to achieve our common goals for the interest of our members. The purpose of the merger is to promote cooperation, communication, and joint initiatives between TEWU and TUWAG in matters to protect and promote the common interests of the union members, including but not limited to collective bargaining negotiation, grievance resolution, and advocacy.
According to Suleimana, both parties are seeking to negotiate for better conditions of service for their members across the various public and technical universities.
Parties shall exchange in joint bargaining or share information pertaining to collective bargaining with the aim of advancing the interests of their respective members. B, to negotiate for a better conditions of service for the members of the unions. C, the parties shall exchange best practices, resources, and support for effective grievance handling and dispute resolution processes. Brothers and sisters, the parties shall undertake joint advocacy efforts to influence legislation and policies that impact the rights and well-being of their members.
Joy News, Nana Boache Dankoyadom, Kumasi.
The Ghana Consulting Engineers Association is calling for a paradigm shift in infrastructure investments in the country. The association says there is a need for a move from traditional infrastructure development to one that is deeply embedded in sustainability principles. President for the association, Magnus Leslie Koshi, spoke to Joy Business at the 2023 Ghana Consulting Engineers Association Sustainability Conference.
The conference was to highlight the urgent need to invest in infrastructure in a sustainable way at the national level. Engineer Magnus Kwashi was heavy on reassessing the state of the country's infrastructures.
So in 1987, the Brundtland Commission was set up by the UN, and this commission defined what we call the sustainable development. So sustainable development is actually looking at development today that does not compromise the future. And over the last 30 years, we have been having meetings, discussions, climate actions, and so on, but we do not really see the issues of sustainability mainstreamed in the things we undertake. Now, generally, today we are talking about triple bottom line when we talk about sustainability. So we are looking at the issues of planet, we are looking at people and profit. Traditionally, we've done business in such a way that profit was the ulterior motive. But under sustainability, we are gradually asking for a shift, from profit orientation to taking care of the people. So sometimes you go to a community, there are people there, we tend to want to move people to do developments and so on and so forth. Or if I should say, people need infrastructure. These are basic systems for every community to improve their quality of life.
President of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Kobena Bimpong, called for a collaboration between the public and the private sector.
The very definition of sustainability is meeting the present generation's aspirations without harming that of the future generations. And as you have rightly said, we are all looking for development, but development that does not think about the future is no development, because at the end of the day, all we are doing is digging a hole to bury ourselves. And I give specific examples. Now in Accra, to find sand to build, it is almost depleted. Now what a lot of developers are doing, and especially those tipper truck drivers, they are going into the surrounding areas of Accra, in Suhum, in Sawam, and all those places, and they are digging up people's farms.
The conference was under the theme, Sustainable Infrastructure. Can we do better?
That's all for business. My name is Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next, it's sports. Please stay.
You're welcome to Showbiz on JN today, and let's take a look at what George Quay, as the artistic director of the National Theatre, has done for his first theatrical experience, making sure that he is giving National Theatre that awareness and also pushing it. So together with Image Bureau and April Communications, under the auspices of National Theatre, he actually thrilled people with his first theatrical experience, the epic story by Olarotimi, The Gods Are Not to Blame. Well, this is a report, and the report has more in there. George Quay, Image Bureau and April Communications, under the auspices of the National Theatre, gave patron an innate onstage experience of Olarotimi's epic masterpiece, The Gods Are Not to Blame.
Who squats bravely to kill a lion? Son of Odedera, son of
These
are the views of some patrons on what they came to see.
It was just a fantastic performance. I'm really proud of George Quay and the entire team. It was world class. And I think that the National Theatre has to be supported a bit more.
I've read it more than 15 times.
Hey.
It was my literature book in SHS, Maoli School.
Okay.
So I saw this, I'm in Takrade, but I came, yes.
All the way from Takrade?
Yes. I was here at 12 noon. I can say I was the first person to get here. I was here at 12 noon. We have read it, we've analyzed them.
How many times have you read it?
Well, yeah, because we did it in set books.
It was one of
Wesley
the
Girls, yes.
Wesley Girls.
Yes.
Is this a good representation of what you've read?
Yes. Yes, 100%.
This is real. This was more real than we even read in the book. I mean, I shed a tear at the end of it all.
David Otto, who was the narrator for the theatrical experience, was thrilled by the response of the patrons in the auditorium.
With epic theater like this one, there's so much of fantasy. And, people hardly see fantasy. Not boyfriend, girlfriend, side chick, husband, wife, that kind of, no. This one, there are certain elements that you see once in a while. And that's what has attracted them to. So for me, being in The Gods Are Not to Blame is a thrill. Like I said, it's like a festival. I enjoy being on stage.
The director of the play, George Quay, and his stage manager, Atto, had this to say when I had the conversation with them.
3 to 4 months. Not days. 3 to 4 months, working 5 days every week.
Monday to Friday?
Yep. At least 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this expectations of the output?
It should be better, but we're happy with what we've seen.
You're looking to be better?
Yes. The subsequent shows we're sure will be better. We spotted a few errors that will correct. So yeah.
I've spoken to a lot of people who are telling me that it is even better than what they read.
That's it. You see, we need to give them the money's worth. And two practical people involved, you know what you expect. And like you're saying, it can be better. And we need to tighten up a few things to make it compact. It's a story that people love. We call this one, we use this one as a tech dress. First shows are always the tech dress rehearsals, though we did the tanker dress yesterday. And we left this place almost like 11:30. Some got home at 2. Others slept here for the show this morning. Putting a few things together. The set, for instance, a few touches here and there to get it complete. So the second show and tomorrow, first and second show will be something else.
And that will be all for Showbiz here on GN.
And that's all for Joy News today. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Please enjoy the rest of our programs.